Hey guys, and welcome back. I'm the Razor Queen, Tiffanyanne Kosma, and today I am joined in the studio by my very good friend Michael, but you know him as Shave Busta.
Busta. Yeah.
Busta!
And the Razor Queen.
And the Razor Queen.
We're together.
Anything is possible.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
What was to say? Beautiful city, San Diego.
I was going to ask you if you've been enjoying your visit so far.
I have. I have only been here once before, but it was a really quick visit. So this time, Tiff actually showed me around a little bit. And it's beautiful.
Awesome.
Wonderful.
Awesome. And you had a shave today, right?
I did. I actually shaved in your bathroom. So that's pretty cool. And not many people can say that. So
that's true.
Although I stuck to my face. I only shaved my face.
TMI.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, it was interesting because I got to see the video, which is uploading now, so you guys will get to see it as well pretty quickly. You mentioned that the Edwin Jagger DE89 that you used was a mild razor, and I actually completely disagree. For me, my skin, and I don't know if it's the difference between leg shaving or face shaving or what the deal is, but I find it to be actually a very aggressive razor. I would never put a feather in an Edwin Jagger. I always go with something that's a little milder and save the feathers for my vintage. So, yeah. And I mean, a few weeks ago as well, you did a video about having disagreements in the community, and I think that that's something that I'm super passionate about. You know, I also wrote a blog about it because there does seem to be, when there's a difference of opinion, some bullying that tends to kind of come up and happen.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, actually, I read your blog. I read the blog post, and I had the same kind of passionate feeling. Because I see that, you know, in the shave community, there are, I wouldn't call them cliques, but there's groups of people.
Right.
You know, and they all have different opinions on different things. And the one thing that's nice about the wet shaving community is there's so much diversity. Like, there's so many different products. There's so many different types of soap and blades and razors, straight razors versus DE razors. And it inspires people to be a little bit passionate, but they can get so passionate that if you're not like me, you're wrong.
Right.
And then it turns into even more sometimes where they're making fun of people or putting people down.
Yeah.
And it gets quite nasty sometimes. So when I saw your blog post, I read it and it really hit home. So I did this video called For the Love of Shaving. And what I was really trying to say in the video was, we all love to shave. You know, we all don't agree on the best equipment or, you know, how to hone your razor or whatever. But at the end of the day, I love shaving. So much so that I do it on camera, put it on the internet, which, you know, that says a lot.
Yeah.
But a lot of, I mean, in the groups I'm in and the online community, they're all that passionate. You know, they may not put it on camera, they may not get online, but they love to shave. You know, and that's something that I think we need to embrace. You know, rather than focusing on our disagreements or things that we don't like, let's just all focus on the fact that we all love to do this thing called shaving.
Exactly. I see it especially when it comes to particular kind of shaving, you know, cartridges versus DE razors versus straight razors.
Yeah.
So, and I'm a woman, obviously, in shaving, so my feelings are obviously going to be very feminine, but I'm really interested in your thoughts on how you think, like, we can work together to make it, you know, more pleasant for everyone, you know, get rid of the bullying.
Yeah, I think, I mean, what we need to do is start with the common ground. And that's why I called it For the Love of Shaving, because that was the thing that we all have in common. And so I was trying to get people to understand that that's how you fix this problem. You don't look at the minutia. Look at the bigger picture. You know, even if you're a cartridge razor shaver, I don't like cartridges myself, but that doesn't mean that if you love to shave with cartridges that you're not enjoying and loving your experience. And I think I said that in the video. It was like, if you love cartridges and you're getting a wonderful shave and you're loving shaving, then you're in our community because you love to shave.
Right.
If for some reason your shave is boring or you don't enjoy it, then, and you want to be in a community where you love to shave, then you might look at changing it up. You might say, oh, well, I don't have the same fun Busta's having. I mean, I'm not smiling like that when I'm shaving, or it's not enjoyable. Then you might say to yourself, okay, maybe I should try something different.
Right.
But that's where I want people to gravitate towards is, are you loving what you're doing? Are you loving what you're using? If you don't love what you use, try something, But to say that this person's shaving with better equipment, or straight razor's better, or cartridges are better, or DE's better, just because, I think is where people get into a problem, because it's almost like doctrine. It's like, you have to do it this way. And if you don't do it this way, then you're not doing it the right way. And sadly, because we are in shave communities, that can kind of roll down the mountain, because then one person says it, and then 5 other people say it, and 10 other people say it, and then you start feeling like...
Yeah, it's almost like they kind of like jump on the bandwagon with certain friends.
Yeah.
I've realized and seen some things in the community where a certain person will do a behavior to another person, and then other people are really aware of it, but they don't really do anything about it. What would your recommendation be for the community to, maybe it's a conversation that you have with the person who's doing the behavior, but what would you recommend for people in that position right now?
I think it would be detrimental, or just in bad nature, to just flat out go publicly and say, oh, what you're doing is wrong. Because that's not going to help anybody. You're actually creating more division, in my opinion. I think what you can do, at least in the group, is focus on, again, bringing us back. So if it's a thread negatively about someone using a specific type of razor, and this razor, you shouldn't use it because it's cheap or whatever, in that same thread, put in some positive. Say, something to the effect of like, well, ask questions. Are you getting a good shave? How is it working for you? Have you tried another razor? And if so, can you tell a difference? And you're being more inquisitive than anything. And I think that gives them an opportunity, number one, to feel like they're still part of the community because you're asking them questions. But number two, they can share. They can say, well, actually, I do get a pretty good shave. And, the thing that I don't like about it is this and this. Or the thing I really like about it is this and this. And hopefully it becomes more objective. Because honestly, one of the reasons I joined the communities is, number one, because I like the community aspect. But to get information, like, I don't mind asking questions and say, hey, has anyone tried this soap out? What are your thoughts? Or has anyone used this razor? Or what do you guys feel about this? The problem is that inevitably somebody will push their agenda. And then you get a situation where people feel outcasted. But I think we have to get past that, because it's still good to share that information.
Yes.
I don't want to get to a situation where nobody asks questions because everybody's afraid. We have to consciously be aware of what we're doing. If you're just not conscious about it and you don't even think about it, what you could possibly be doing to someone else, you're not going to participate well, in my opinion.
Right. And I think it's also important to mention that if you are the person being bullied, that, there is a system of support out there for you. And also, it's really not about you. When somebody comes at, anyone with a lot of hate or negativity, it's usually just based on 90% other things going on in their life. Maybe they just had a fight with their wife. Maybe they fight with their wives a lot. And they take it out as anger on the forums or online, because that's the way that they find power. So I say, one love. Love will keep us together, and no bullying. I love our community. I think it's epic.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's great. I love that there's other people that love shaving. We just had a meetup. You were there.
Yeah.
And it's nice to meet with people online, but when you meet with them in person, it even becomes more apparent how much you share with these people. I mean, totally different walks of life. We all have different jobs. But when it comes to shaving, we can all talk. We can say, hey, have you tried this? Or have you used this? I really like this. And the commonality is the shaving piece. Because I can't just go to somebody in my workplace or on the street and go like, hey, what razor are you using? And people don't get it. But when you're in the community, people love it. I mean, even today, you're showing me your soaps and your different razors, and it's exciting as all be,
Yeah.
for some people, it's like, what is this girl up to? But I'm excited as heck,
I was actually surprised that there were so many soaps that you hadn't
I
either
know.
sniffed or tried at all yet. So
Yeah.
that was really exciting.
Yeah, and that's another thing, obviously. There's a lot to try out in this community. But again, that's a reason why the community is so great. I can say, hey, has anyone used this soap? You know, like I hadn't
Yeah.
used Holy Cow, and you've used it.
Yeah.
And so you would be able to give me some good info on it, and other people would be too.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? The funny thing is like people like you and I could use the same soap and have a completely different experience with that soap.
Yeah.
We could smell different things, and you know. So when I'm seeing on the forums people fighting over what they like,
Mm-hmm.
it's I just want to reach out and hug everyone and just say we can all like what we like and just support each other and focus on what's important. Doesn't matter if it's cartridge or straight or safety. It's all about the love of shaving.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining me today, Busta.
I loved it.
Awesome.
I'm so excited.
And thank you for helping me talk about this really important subject.
You're welcome.
For all of you guys, what are your thoughts? Go ahead and post them below, and we will see you next time. Stay sharp and happy shaving.